welcome to Fox News at Night. I'm Shannon Bream in Washington. Breaking tonight, impeachment proceedings against New York Governor Andrew Cuomo heating up as he refuses to resign after a bombshell report details multiple instances in which he sexually harassed at least 11 different women. We've got the late-breaking details, plus Fox News meteorologist Janice Dean reacts to the Attorney General's findings and what could come next for Governor Cuomo. Plus, backlash over vaccine passports soon to be required in New York City for indoor activities. Will other major cities follow suit? And are you ready to show proof of vaccination the next time you decide to eat out? More people are abandoning America's big cities for the suburbs. What is driving the exodus? Fox News at Night investigates. But we begin tonight with the defiant New York Governor, Andrew Cuomo, refusing to resign despite calls from both sides of the political spectrum. Senior correspondent Laura Ingle has the latest tonight from Long Island, New York. Good evening, Laura.
Shannon, the descriptions of the alleged abuse coming from women who are accusing New York Governor Andrew Cuomo are simply jaw-dropping. The findings made public Tuesday from an independent investigation reveal those looking into the governor's conduct found that he harassed multiple women, breaking federal and state laws.
The investigators independently corroborated and substantiated these facts.
The 165-page report lists accusations from 11 current and former staff and state employees who described unwanted groping, touching, and kissing and inappropriate comments from the governor.
The governor hugged executive assistant number 1 and reached under her blouse to grab her breast.
The report reveals at least 2 previously unreported allegations of sexual harassment, including an unnamed female state trooper and an employee of an energy company. In a pre-recorded response, Governor Cuomo denied the allegations.
I never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances. I am 63 years old. I've lived my entire adult life in public view. That is just not who I am. And that's not who I have ever been.
One of his accusers, former aide Charlotte Bennett, gave this reaction to CBS.
Accepting responsibility means stepping down. So I don't believe him, and I don't want an apology. It's not necessary. It's fake.
Now the call for Governor Cuomo's resignation is intensifying. The governors of Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania releasing a joint statement that reads, "We are appalled at the findings of the independent investigation by the New York Attorney General. Governor Cuomo should resign from office." And hours before, President Biden was asked to weigh in from the White House.
I stand by that statement.
Are you now calling on him to resign?
Yes.
A defiant Cuomo refused to resign on Tuesday, meaning it's now up to the Democratic-controlled New York State Assembly to decide if Cuomo will face impeachment. Shannon?
Laura, thank you so much. With more on the sexual harassment allegations against Governor Cuomo and his response, let's take a look at how the media are reacting. Here's Fox News media analyst and host of Fox's Media Buzz, Howard Kurtz.
It was just 16 months ago that Andrew Cuomo was riding high, hailed by the media for the coronavirus briefings that won him an Emmy, appearing on his brother Chris's CNN show.
I've never been prouder of you than I am right now.
And being touted for national office.
Now there's an official draft Cuomo movement out there to try to persuade Joe Biden to appoint him as his VP.
With his famous family name, the governor was Democratic royalty, a fixture on TV news, which cast him as the rational alternative to President Trump on COVID. When the first allegations of sexual harassment surfaced in February, they were ignored by the network evening newscasts and MSNBC and briefly mentioned on CNN. Only after accuser Charlotte Bennett spoke to the New York Times and went on the air,
The governor's trying to sleep with me.
did the coverage pick up. Cuomo denied the allegations while apologizing for making anyone uncomfortable. And once New York's Attorney General began to investigate, the story soon faded until today.
By engaging in unwanted groping, kisses, hugging, and by making inappropriate comments.
When Cuomo denied the findings by Letitia James, though he apologized to Charlotte Bennett, he went after the press.
Trial by newspaper or biased reviews are not the way to find the facts in this matter.
But he asked for the AG investigation, and anchors and pundits were sharply critical across the cable news spectrum.
Really devastating for the reputation of Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Imagine the twilight zone these women felt they were working in.
Essentially normalizing, frankly, illegal behavior while at the same time holding his employees under a thumb of fear.
The media are denouncing Governor Cuomo over this blistering report and speculating whether he can survive. The lesson is it's risky business to downplay harassment allegations or portray any politician as a superhero when he may act very differently away from the cameras. Shannon?
Howard Kurtz, thank you. So many instances of sexual harassment by Andrew Cuomo in this report documented today by the New York Attorney General. So many facets to unpack tonight. Let's bring in Fox News senior meteorologist Janice Dean and New York State Assemblyman Colin Schmitt. Great to have you both with us tonight. I want to play a little bit of what we were hearing from the mainstream media about this governor months ago. Here's what they were saying then.
Even lifelong Republicans tell me, they look at Cuomo and they're like, God, there's a leader.
I heard, though, that you had a crush on our boyfriend, Andrew Cuomo.
Dude, everyone does, right? I think he's fantastic.
And you exposed a lot of your own vulnerabilities.
The very buzzed about topic about you is your love life.
You've been commended for your clear and your calm leadership. We're grateful that across the country there are responsible leaders who are stepping up. One of them provided clear direction and memorable PowerPoints, New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Janice, you've had to listen to that for more than a year, and obviously your issue is losing your two precious in-laws due to nursing home policies under this governor and with COVID. But how are you feeling today that at least on another front, there is finally some accountability?
Brave women today, Shannon. I'm so proud of those young women that came forward. That was really tough for them to do and really risk their jobs and their careers, and their livelihoods to go against this monster. I mean, I've been speaking out for over a year and a half now, and people have told me, watch your back and be careful. And so for these women to come forward and speak to investigators and bring them their deepest, darkest secrets about this man, they are to be commended. I feel hopeful today. And I've always said I think that the sexual harassment is what's going to get him in the end, because he can't really blame anyone else, even though he really tried to today. It's on him, and he has to take the responsibility.
And Assemblyman, listen, from the top down from Democrats, I mean, the president, he's the biggest Democrat we've got in this country. Even he is saying it's time for the governor to resign. The governor today sounding like he has no intention of doing that. So now it's up to essentially the state Democrats there. It sounds like they are moving with more haste than they have in the past. On impeachment, what would it take at this point? I mean, it seems like they have all the political cover they need, given this report.
Absolutely. The governor should resign, but we see that he clearly is not interested in doing what is right and what is just. So the Assembly needs to immediately move to impeach the governor. It should be unanimous. It should be bipartisan. The Assembly majority has stalled for several months. My colleagues and I in the Assembly Republican Minority Conference put forward a co-sponsored impeachment resolution many months ago. The resolution's in. There's already a committee that has been stood up on this. So there should be no further delay. We have all the independent validation that we need. It is disturbing and it is vile. And Andrew Cuomo is not above the law. He needs to be removed from office, and he needs to be prosecuted immediately.
There are other things he is now facing. There is talk of another investigation that is criminal in nature. Janice, I know because of his handling of the COVID outbreak with regard to assisted living and nursing home facilities, you've been really tracking to see what the Department of Justice would do, the feds here. This is the Washington Post headline just a few days ago saying DOJ declines to investigate Cuomo's handling of COVID-19 in nursing homes. Said the U.S. Justice Department announced Saturday that it will not conduct a civil investigation into Cuomo's handling of the coronavirus cases in state nursing facilities. Janice, I know that is the cause most personal and closest to your heart, to your family. Are you hopeful that there will be any answers or accountability on that particular issue?
I
hope so. The investigations continue here in New York State with regards to the nursing homes, and not only because of his March 25th order, but the fact that he might have used state resources for friends and family COVID tests, things that the nursing homes were not getting at that time, and the fact that he covered up the numbers for so many months. And the timeline shows he did that corresponding with his $5.1 million book in the middle of a pandemic. So I'm going to try to be hopeful, but I am very disappointed in the Biden administration for them to drop that DOJ case, because it wasn't just New York, it was Pennsylvania, it was Michigan, it was New Jersey, that also had the same mandate to put infected patients into nursing homes. And why wouldn't we want to get to the bottom of that? Why wouldn't we want to know the origins of that order? If we ever have another pandemic, it would be useful information.
I mean, he's a public servant, and so all the people who are his constituents deserve clarity and answers on all of these issues. Janice and Assemblyman, thank you both for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.